So as you know that we are going to discuss or we are going to study about business intelligence. So, so what is BI? Why BI? Do we need BI? What is the importance of BI? What is the necessity of BI? For your information, I already know about BI since 20, 2006. Yes, 2006, since when I was working. So since 2006, I already knew BI. But back then, BI is not as popular as today. Today is 2020, means that it's been already been like 16 years. 16 years ago. 16 years ago, I already know the concept of business intelligence. So why make it popular today? Because as you know, today we had a lot of data. We had a lot of data. Most of the operational transaction or so on was being saved or being produced by information systems. So most of the tasks in our work life or working life are already being computerized. Means that a lot of data being stored in our database. That is why we need the business intelligence, and that is why the concept of business intelligence are increased. Even though that the business intelligence itself was today was shifting into what to say I forgot, some kind of IoT and so on. But the business intelligence itself still remain the same. It is the main purpose of business intelligence is to support the company, to support a company, to support an enterprise, to do to make a better decision, to do the right choice, to do the right step, so that in the future they will have a better improvement and a better profit and so on. So basically, business intelligence was used to become a prophecy, or become a basic need for the decision maker to make their own decision. So it is very important. As you know that I already used the business intelligence since 2006. And back then, the technology was not as good as today, but the main concept of the technology remained the same. So as you know that you already learned about Microsoft SQL, right? SQL. So that's the tool that we are going to use is the same. We are going to use the Microsoft SQL server plus service, integration service plus analysis service, and then if we are lucky, then we will be continuing into reporting service. So basically, this is the main tools to create or to support the business intelligence. So what would be the Microsoft SQL technology stand for? It is the primary database. Basically, it will be stored as a relational database. And then after that, we are going to use IS or integration service. So integration service was used as an ETL. So you will know this one. ETL is extract, transfer, load. So basically, IS is a tools to combine several source or several resource. Then it will be compiled into a single database or a single table or so on. After that, you will need an analysis service. So basically, analysis service is beyond the data warehouse. You understand what I said. Beyond data warehouse, and then after data warehouse is basically where you put the ETL function of ETL data into data warehouse. Then you will need an analysis service to change or to recombine the data warehouse or the data table into a data cube. Then this data cube will be used into the reporting service. So why do we need a data cube? Because by using data cube, then our reporting or our report will become multi-dimensional report. We can have such thing as a drill down report. We can have such a tree kind of report and so on. So by having this kind of condition, you need a data cube inside an analysis service, and analysis service will be getting the data from the data warehouse, and the ETL will be gathering the data and then store it into a data warehouse, and basically it will be using DBMS, Relational Database Management System. So this is the big picture of business intelligence. So hopefully you already learn about relational database management service, and I do believe that you already been taught about the Microsoft SQL Server. So I do believe that there will be no difficulties on in creating a simple query, simple join, simple syntax of query, and we will try to improve those query into an advanced query, because to store a data in inside the data warehouse, we need to mine the data carefully. So this is usually will be called as a data mining. So we need to digging up the data, choosing, preparing, updating the data, then store it into a new kind of data. This is a very important step to do before we are going to use learn about business intelligence. So the outline of today's material would be preliminary data warehouse purpose, the purpose of data warehouse, the component of the data warehouse, and test. The data warehouse inside the business intelligence stands for a technique of collecting or scavenging data that is useful for analysis from a large collection of transactional data. So we need to choose, we need to pick up the right data. So that is why I said to you, we need to mine the data from a large collection of transactional data. So a system that has been running for a long time will be producing a relatively large data. You will be shocked if you know how big or how huge the data would be. If all the data is kept, it will be burdening or will be disrupting the system. Because the stored data will become a junk, will become unuseful if you don't know how to reuse the data. And it will be burdening or will be gaining the system itself. Then the system will become slower, and slower. So you need to do something about it. So what if we delete those data? What will happen? What will happen is you will be losing a lot of information to support the futures. You will lose a lot of data to support your to support your step or to support your decision and to support your move. Okay. I will give you a short brief or short introduction on how important is this data. So let's say we have a product called A. This product, let's say in February, okay, let's say in February, is being sold in February 2019. 2019, we have been sold for, let's say, 1,000 pieces. February, the same year, 2020, being sold 1,020. And in 2021, it's being sold for, let's say, 1,040. So as you know, that the improvement of the selling of this product is not that much. Even though that is an increase of the product, but the improvement of the increase is not that high. So we can try to drill down what is going on in this month during those years. Then we can break it down into weeks. Let's say week 1, it's being sold around 200. Week 2, it's being sold around 500. And week 3, it's being sold around, let's say, 200. And then the rest of it would be like 100. So, you know, you will find a useful information regarding the sales about the product. Why do week 2nd or the 2nd of the week in February have a higher sales than other weeks? Let's say. So, and then the series also occurred in 2020. We have the similar behavior. So we can say that the most significant or the most higher or the highest seller of this product was in week 2. So what's it's happening during this week 2? Let's say we can find, oh, there is a Valentine's Day. So during the Valentine's Day, the sales of this product is very high. Why? So we can learn from this data. So we can, okay, let's try to make some kind of activity during those Valentine. So hopefully we can improve these numbers, or we can double this number into 1,000 product in week 2. So we need to do something about this, and we need to support this sales so it can be improved, or we can increase the number of the sales of this product can increase. So that is why by having this kind of information is very important, and this is very useful, and this is very delightful, because you can see the data clearly, and you can see the trend of the product very, very informatively. So you can have a better decision make. You can create a good decision by having, by knowing this kind of condition. So never delete the data, because it will be useful in the future. So by having a data warehouse, data that was originally deleted can be selected, which one is useful for analysis. So like I already mentioned before, that data stored in the database or inside a relational database management system will be selected by using the ETL. Then it will be stored into data warehouse. So it is not all the data that we get from the database. We are selecting some particular data that will be used for a further analysis. And then the data warehouse itself will be changed into a data cube and so on. So by having this kind of condition, we can minimize the burden, and we can minimize the distraction of the system by having another kind of data, which will be called as a data warehouse. Okay. So I already mentioned about the example. So let's say in this example, we wanted to know how many cells data record have to store open until this date. And the more data that we have, then the slower the transaction will be. So I already mentioned about the ETL concept of extract, transfer, load. Then it will be stored inside the data warehouse. So basically, the data that we will use is not only coming from a single relational database. It can become from another kind of file, such as Excel, TXT, or text file, or Microsoft Word, or XML, JSON, or another database server such as MySQL, or DB2, Oracle, and so on. You can get a lot of data source and then combine it into a single database called data warehouse. So having this kind of database will give you a lot of opportunity to get to know, or getting know your data well, because you already selected, or you already selecting the important information that you wanted to know, and you can easily change, or you can easily modify those data into a specific information. So it is very important. Okay, so creating an information system is not just creating information and it's done. No, but maintaining the data is very important. Very, very important. So the main purpose of data warehouse would be integration a data from a multiple data or multiple source into a single source. And the other purpose of the data warehouse, because we need historical data to support our decision. And then also improving data quality, because combining multiple table, combining multiple source into a single table, into a single database will be improve the quality of the data if you can modify it, or if you can provide a good data combination service. And also improving the data consistency, improving the consistency of the data, provide a single common data model, and also restructuring the data. But above all, the most important goal is to increase the company's profit or turnover. It is okay if you don't have a data warehouse, but it will be better, or it will improve your profit if you have the data warehouse. So what happened to the sales data so far? The more data will be slower. What if it's big related? And what will the company lose? As I already mentioned, or as I already told you, that we will will be losing a lot of information. We'll be losing a lot of action. We'll be losing a lot of information regarding to the historical data. So as I already told you, that why is the sales was stagnant, or what is there is no improvement during those months, and you try to dig the information further, and then you find out both those 4 weeks there is a single week that is the highest cells above of all, and then you try to figure it out, why is this happening, and then you take a right action to make it even better. Then if you double the cells during those weeks, then the number of the transaction during those months will be also improved by 50%. So it is very important to have this kind of condition. Okay, and how can a company profit increase when there is a data warehouse? So as I already mentioned, that if you create or if you choose a correct decision, if you made a beneficial action, then of course it will be improve your profit, it will be improve your preparation and so on, because the information is already there. So how you dig those information up so it will become useful for you, then if you think about that kind of condition, then you will know that you need a data warehouse, because a lot of companies nowadays are using a data warehouse because they know the importance of data warehouse, even though that such company as Facebook, as we call as a user profile and so on, are using this kind of approach to produce our needs specifically, because they know what we need based on what we do or based on what we did before. So they can evaluate what is, they can evaluate, they can characterize our characteristic better, so they can provide our needs better. So that is the importance of the data, because back then, before we know the technology of information system, the winner of in a competition is not based on the wealthy, based on the money they have. If you have a lot of money, then you will become the winner of the competition. But now the table was turned out. Money is not everything anymore. Money is not the important role anymore, because the most important role was shifting into the data. If you have the data, or if you can use the data well, then you can become a winner of competition. Data is more valuable than money now. So, and the trend is still having the same condition. The one who have the data, then he will become the winner. So it is very important how we get the data or how we use the data. Because based on the analysis process, we can generate a lot of facts, we can get a lot of information, we can have a lot of, we can also use it as a prediction and also wisdom. Okay. Because in a classic management system, not system, in a classic management theory, experience is important. But now, it is not enough. You need to combine experience with data. So that is why, if you can see that the richest people in the world still the age of the richest people in the world are shifting to become a younger generation. Why? Because even though that their experience is less than other, but they have the data, so it will be turning out the experienced people where they don't have the data. They are late to use the data that they have. So this is very important. So the component of the data warehouse, in general, there will be three. We can have an online. I forgot. Online for OLAP is online analytical process. Why is online? Because you can change or modify the report on the go, so you don't have to put a lot of you don't have to change the the range or the requirement and back to the first or the front load, but you can directly modify the report on the fly without having condition, without having another condition to be to provide. Wait a minute, I have to change. So OLTP is online transaction process plus data source, and then you will have a ETL or extract transfer load engine, and then you will have a data warehouse plus online analytical process. So OLTP plus data source stand for the entire system used to handle the main transaction processing, which is consists of application that can read, write data from to or to, from, and then so on into database file service, etc. And on OLTP will be stand for online transaction processing, as you know that most of the transaction is already online. And for the data warehouse plus OLAP or online analytical processing is the whole system will be used to analyze the data that has been collected from the database into a data warehouse, which is consists of an application that reads data from data warehouse and visualize it into the user. So it's supposed to be having a data cube. And then data cube will be used for OLAP or online analytical processing. So what is ETL? ETL stands for extract transfer load. ETL stands for extract transfer load, and it is the component that having a single job to read data from OLTP and so on, adjust the format, modify the format, modify the record, and so on, and then save it into a data warehouse, and then will be used in OLAP. So both can be DBMS from a different lies only in the semantic design of the table, such as DB stand for OLTP, which will be designed as a normalized manner, but in data warehouse, it will be backward than the old LTP, where we need to denormalize the data table. The normalization is to streamline the process of writing the data, such as insert, update, deleted. And the denormalization is to streamline the process of reading the data, such as selecting and joining. So the most popular SIM being used for data warehouse will be called as Star SIM and Snowflake SIM. So this is the basic database where it is being normalized. But in a data warehouse, then it will be transformed into, this is called a Star SIM. Will be denormalized into SIM that being choose. In this example, this is the Star SIM. So what is the Snowflake? Snowflake usually will be having this another relation. So the center of the data is not in the middle. For a Snowflake, the Snowflake will be having a multiple center. But the main characteristic for a central SIM, a Star SIM, is the main table will be stand in the middle. Like this one. So this is the main information, and it will be joining another table to provide a useful information. Okay, I will try to give you a short brief regarding to the data cube. So the data cube itself, why do we need a data cube? And how an OLAP report possible to be used? So as you know that database or a simple database is having a two-dimensional structure. They have row and also columns, right? So this is row 1, row 2, row 3, and then column A, column B, and column C. Okay. So this is a standard or a normal data table. When we are converting or is converting this table into a data cube, means that we are going to improve this table, or we are going to add another dimension of the table. Let's say this is a product table. Okay. In product table, the information will be, let's say, product 1, product A, the price is 2,000. Product B, the price is 1,000. Okay. So is there, if we wanted to know, is there ever any changes about the price? Then we need to go to another table called transactional and so on. And then we can join in year 2001. Basically, the price for product A was only 1,000. And then in 2005, it is increased, the price was increased into 1,500 and so on. So we need another table to give the information about the changes of this price. But by converting this table into a data cube means that we will have a multi-dimensional structure, not only one structure and not only two structures. This one is having two structures, columns and rows, but we can also add depth inside the data cube. So we can have like this, such a layer, product 1, product 2, A and B, 2,000, 1,000. And then we are adding another information such as 2022, 2022. And then the depth will be consist of another years, 2021, but the product still the same. Let's say still 2,000, and this still 2,000. And we have another 2019, 2018, and so on. So we give another layer for this data. So that is why it is called cube. So was the data cube was only restricted into 3 dimensions? No. You can have another dimension, such as the 4th dimension, the 5th dimension, and so on. So how do we handle this? So the 4th dimension will be stand for what? The 4th dimension will be standing for a multiple data cube. You can have a first data cube and then the second data cube and so on. And because that is why data cube is very important to support your OLAP. Because if you have this data cube, then you don't have to turning back. Oh, I wanted to know what year, and this year what, and then you need to send the condition into 20 and so on. But by having this data cube, then the report will be dynamically changes based on your need without having to moving backward and forward to